What I do know is I've got customers that I have to take care of, and I've got associates that I have to take care of. So we need to get our customers the best possible price on a car, and we need to make sure that we keep the store operational so that our 120 associates are well taken care of and we don't miss any payrolls.
Welcome back to Car-Pinionated, our weekly show on cars, the car industry, and driving in general. I'm Doug Stewart, digital executive producer for Fox 61 in Hartford. And with me today is Peter Krause of Krause Cars and Suburban Subaru in Vernon, Connecticut. So Peter, before we get started on this whole discussion, we're recording this Wednesday morning, and we don't know the specifics of the tariff plan. We know an outline of what people are predicting. So we're going to make some educated guesses, but I think we could kind of go forward under that, rubric if you want to. So tell me a little bit about Suburban Subaru. How long have you guys been in business?
We've been here about 38, 39 years. So I've been in the car business since 1971 when I went to work for the Ford Motor Company. Then I was a dealer in Indiana for 6 years, ran a store in Boston for a while, and then have had 7 stores here in the Connecticut, Massachusetts area since that time. Right now, we only have the one, that's Suburban Subaru.
Okay. And so you've been around the cars for a long time, and you've seen a lot of things. What's this era like for you?
Well, we've seen a lot of things. I mean, we've seen gas prices through the roof where you can't get any gasoline. We've seen chips where we can't have any production. We've had 20% unemployment and 20% interest rates. So we've navigated through a variety of situations, a lack of parts, fires that burn plants down, and all those kinds of things. So this is just another bump in the road. Unfortunately, we really don't know what's really going to happen. And I'm not an economist, so I don't really know all the ramifications of what will happen internationally. What I do know is I've got customers that I have to take care of, and I've got associates that I have to take care of. So we need to get our customers the best possible price on a car, and we need to make sure that we keep the store operational so that our 120 associates are well taken care of and we don't miss any payrolls. And I haven't missed any in all the years I've been in business, so we're not going to miss this one either. We got about 500 cars here that don't have any tariffs on them. So we're going to sell those cars without increasing them because of the tariffs, and take care of our customers and just keep moving the needle. We've ordered some more parts to try to stock up on parts so that we can fix cars for people who need to fix their cars, and try to run things as normally as we possibly can. But we really don't know what's going to happen. For example, we don't know whether cars that are on the ocean right now that are coming from Japan, are they tariff cars or not tariff cars? Do they have to be on the United States before they're tariff cars? There's so many unknowns. Parts wise, is a camshaft going to have a 25% tariff? And is a crankshaft going to have it? Nobody really knows the nuts and bolts of this thing. I think it's been done from 35,000 feet, but where is it all going to drop on the consumer and on the car dealer? Because we're the end of the road. So
Yeah.
we've got cars and we've got parts, and we're trying to do things as normally as we possibly can.
And you're one of the bigger Subaru dealerships in New England, aren't you?
We're 10th in New England right
Okay.
now, and we were, thanks to everybody's really hard work here at the store, we were the #1 certified pre-owned Subaru dealer in the country.
Hmm.
in the
Okay.
country. So,
Um,
so yeah, we try to be a bit of a volume store. Yes.
yeah. And I mean, you know, they don't build cars here in Connecticut, but the impact of all the car dealers in the state and, within the area where you are, there's like, you're one of five new car dealers,
Right.
right? And so this is going to impact everyone in some manner. Um, and but that local, it comes down to that local, dealership. Like those people live in the area, and those people work in the area, are buying groceries in the area, and all that has a spillover effect. Not to mention like the civic things that dealers do, sponsoring Little League and buying
Right.
ads and programs and things like that. So this all could have a spillover effect, right?
Absolutely. I mean, in order to be philanthropic, you have to make some money, and so we have our charities. We like to help Fidelco. There's a boxing club up in Springfield that we help. We help little leagues and car races and those kinds of things. And so, yes, the who knows what'll happen. However, in the past few days, we've been really busy. So. We really don't know what to expect. We had a great day yesterday. We had a great weekend, and people are trying to do things before there's any kind of tariffs. And I I think the tariffs are going to happen, and so it's a viable decision to make to buy a car now if there is going to be tariffs, and somehow, some way, there will be some, I would think. But there again, I'm not an economist and I'm
Yeah,
not
we
a
don't know.
politician, so I really don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But we've got cars that do not have any price increases, and we've got parts that don't have any price increases. So we're we're kind of ready to go.
And the industry saw that in with EVs, where at the end of 2024, when it became apparent that the EV credits, the tax credits were probably going to go away or change in some manner, that you saw a spike in EV sales. And so people are aware of what's going on and are trying to get into the market. The other thing about the market is that, last year the average price of a new car is around $48,000. And that seems a tremendous amount of money. And while I know that probably your cars are not edging up towards that end of the market, do you see the increase in price in new cars in and of itself and what we may see through tariffs? Does that drive people to the used car market? And how does that
Yes.
impact the prices on the used car market?
Absolutely does. And we have people every day that can't afford a new car anymore. So that's why used cars are so very important, at least they are for us. So that's why we're number one in CPO cars, certified pre-owned cars, because those people are buying a car that has an extended warranty on it, and it's a car they can afford. So yes, it will definitely drive used car prices up, I think. Um, has to happen.
Um, Subaru's popularity seems to be in like the northern tier of states. I mean, from you know the states where it's cold and it snows.
Well, that's an interesting thing because having been a Subaru dealer for so long, yes, we used to be that way. Subaru New England used to get 15% of the market. We sold cars in Chicago, we sold them in Minneapolis, we sold them in Denver, we sold them in Seattle and Portland. Now, however, the largest Subaru dealer in America is in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And the people in Florida are selling as many cars as they are here in the cold areas. They have made a concerted effort to sell cars in the Sun Belt. So Long Beach, California, for example, outsells us. And then that was never the case
Yeah,
20 years ago,
yeah.
because we were an all-wheel drive car and we were only in the cold parts of the country. But
Mhm.
now we're mainstream. We're selling over 600,000 cars nationally, and we have our own assembly plant in West Lafayette, Indiana. And so only half of our cars will be affected by this tariff
Right.
situation. And the cars that come from Japan will be affected, but the cars from West Lafayette should not be affected unless they do something with parts. But we're across the country car company now, headquartered in Camden, New Jersey, but we're selling cars in Southern California and Northern California
Mhm.
and Peoria, Arizona, for example, is doing a really good job. So across the country, Jacksonville, Florida is doing really well, who used to be the dealer in Torrington. Across the country, Subaru is selling cars.
And you mentioned the plant in Indiana, and I've driven by it a couple of years ago.
Right,
Really immense plant. And the company builds the Ascent, the Crosstrek, the Legacy, and the Outback there, which which you've mentioned are domestic
right.
cars. We'll see. Um, but the Forester and the Impreza are built in Japan, and those are really two of my popular models. I mean, I see Foresters every time I turn around.
Well, that Forester segment with Forester, RAV, and CRV is the hottest segment in the country right now. However, and Crosstrek is our number one selling vehicle, and very strong also. But the Forester will be a problem for us. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah. The other aspect of this, how this plays out, and it'll remain to be seen, is that we have Insurance Information Institute said the cost of insurance rose an average of 7% and 14%. I'm sorry, is expected to rise an average of 7% this year after rising 14 and 12% over the last 2 years, 23 and 24. And that's without any kind of tariff impact. But we're going to see, something, how that impacts the collision repair, insuring cars. It's just something else that, it's a spillover effect. It goes a
Absolutely.
lot of different places.
The cars cost more money, and therefore your insurance premiums will definitely go up to insure more money. It's a given, and interest rates have sort of ironed themselves out at a reasonable level, and we have low rate financing right now, so interest rates are not the factor that they used to be. But yes, the cars will cost more money, and everything will cost more money. And
I know,
even
I know.
parts will cost more money
Yeah,
when you come to repair them if they're going to put tariffs on the parts.
yeah. Um, I noticed that going back to what you are doing, at least like within the past week or so, that you had a specific discount, like pre-tariff discount listed on your website. Talk to me a little bit about that. How did that come about? How did you decide to do that?
We are going to sell our cars for exactly what we have in them, so to speak, in today's market. We're not going to mark them up and match the tariffs. We're keeping the prices pre-tariffs, and that's the basis from which we're going to sell them, and we've got a bunch of them to sell. So
Yeah,
um, it's an opportune time to do this in case there is a tariff, because you will own a car for 25% less than it was going to cost you after the tariffs happen.
right, right.
So a $40,000 car is a $50,000 car. You're in the 40 grand range now. If you wait until the tariffs come in and wait for a tariff car, it's going to be 50, and it's not our idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This
But
is not our idea.
because you would have thought of a different idea, I imagine.
Right.
When you talk to other owners of car dealerships, what are they saying?
We don't really talk a lot,
Okay.
quite frankly. So I don't know. We talk more with our distributor, Subaru of New England, than we do other car dealers. But I haven't really talked a lot about it. But we thought that this was a good concept and let the public know that that this will probably happen. And if it does happen, then you don't need to pay those increased prices if you react with the cars that we currently have.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, we're prepared. We're ready to go. So just like the Yukon gals, we got to watch the game films and see what happens and adjust accordingly. But right now, I think we have a game plan that's good for probably 6 to 8 weeks, and we have enough cars to go around. So we're ready to go. And it is the time to do things because the cars will probably go up, I think.
Yeah. All right. Great. Uh, Peter Kraus, I appreciate you coming on and taking the time. This has been another episode of Car-Pinionated. You remember that you can watch the playlist of Car-Pinionated episodes on YouTube, and we will see you next week.